biggest fright tonight is to fall off stage. It's so tall. Okay, you guys make sure it doesn't happen tonight. So good evening. Funny thing about tonight is that I think the title of this evening is Becoming the Top 1% of Your Industry, right? And it's quite an unusual title for one main reason. Most people don't want to become the top 1% of their industry. Most people just want to be what? They want to be successful. They want a competitive advantage. They want to win over everyone. They just want to feel meaningful and be recognized for that and get compensation for that. And just by being here tonight, you have done a step towards becoming the top 1% of your industry just by doing what? Wanting it, right? And most people are not looking for it. And it's quite, it actually makes a lot of sense because becoming the top 1% of your industry actually mathematically only means one thing. It means being better than the other 99%. And that's quite unfortunate because historically, history has not been so, we'd say, fair in the way it divided success, right? You would have such a higher chance of becoming the top 1% of your industry if you were born with the right last name, right? Or if you inherited a large fortune, you would have such a higher chance. But if you're not born with those things, how do you outdo the wealthy and connected, right? What do you do when you go into a market where other people have more experience, more titles, more connections? They have more money to take more time in their studies and learning. They're having dinner with people you can only dream of eating dinner with. Or for the very least, they have enough support from their parents so they can pursue a prestigious MBA and take $100,000 for it and maybe 2 years off work. So how do you outdo the wealthy and connected? Now, the good news is, it's the 21st century. And this actually has a name. There's a name to this act of coming out of nowhere with no resources, no background, no connections, and taking over everything. There's a name to that act, and it's actually one of the most admirable acts in modern history. It's called a startup. Right? A startup is the exact act of coming out of nowhere with no resources, no connections, and taking over everything, taking the big prize. And while it's a common misconception to think of a startup as a type of a tech company, right? That's what we imagine when we hear the word startup. It's actually a lot more than that. 6 out of the 10 of the biggest companies today have grown from startup. Startups are winning in every single industry. And while it's a common misconception to think of it as a type of a tech company, a startup is actually a mindset. It's a set of tools, methodologies, and behaviors that together form the mindset that allows few to take over many. It allows few people with few resources and few connections to do great things. And while this normally goes into companies or organizations, right? Smaller organizations with less resources that achieve great things in very few time, this mindset works kind of like a virus. And that virus can infect people as much as it infects organizations. Imagine this virus changes everything it touches. You put this virus on the office real estate industry. What happens? What do you get? If you infect the industry of office space with the startup virus, what do you get? You get WeWork, right? If you infect that virus over the accommodation industry, what do you get? You get Airbnb. And you know what the third example is, right? If you use it on the taxi cab industry, what do you get? You get Uber. So these 3 companies don't exactly have more technology than Sensebirds, right? They're just normal companies disrupting industries using probably the world's most efficient business operating system, the startup mindset. Now, what if you use it for your careers? What can be done with this mindset if you used it for you. Now, when you look at this mindset, it comes with a great challenge and a great opportunity. The challenge is, then how do you learn it? The institutions that are equipped to train us for the workforce, that are meant to prepare us for business, are pretty old. They're pretty outdated. Imagining taking this revolutionary mindset, such a radically innovative way of thinking, and applying it on a business school that's 1,000 years old, doesn't really compute, right? It's hard to imagine. Imagine taking an MBA at Oxford, an institute that's 1,000 years old, and trying to learn one of those innovative mindsets on the planet. It's quite hard. But this also brings a great opportunity, because the very core essence of the startup mindset is hacking your way to the top, right? It's taking something small with no resources and going all the way up. And that allows us to actually go all the way up without pursuing the top MBA from the top business school, without having $100,000 from our parents and taking 2 years off. It actually allows us to go all the way up by hacking our way. Now, when we came to look at this, starting Jolt, we understood that there's a great opportunity here, because a new tribe now emerges in the workforce, in the employment market. And that tribe is the tribe of the self-made people. People who do not have those resources and connections, that were not born with the right last name or inherited a large fortune. And those people now, with the right mindset, have an opportunity to overtake the entire economy. So when we wanted to build a business school for these people, we call it the business school of the self-made. And that is what Jolt does today. Jolt is what an MBA looked like if it was imagined today. And if you imagine the business school today, it would definitely have to teach the world's most effective value creation unit. In an economy, in a capitalist economy, where there's one business system that's absolutely more efficient than any other one, what is bound to happen? It prevails, right? It has to win. And for that reason, we wanted to look at this completely from scratch. How would an MBA look like if we completely reimagined it for self-made people? Now, when we started building it, we wanted it to not only be giving you the startup mindset, we also wanted it to be completely relevant for today's workforce and demands in the market. So what we've done is we've built a committee built out of alumni of the world's best business schools. We've put in one room people who have graduated from Harvard, Stanford, NYU, LBS, LSE, INSEAD, all those incredible business schools. And we gave them just one brief. We said, how would an MBA look like if you build it from scratch to be better than the one you've taken? How would an MBA look like if it was built to give you the startup mindset? Now, we chose those people not only based on the schools they went to, but also the jobs they have today. So those people are holding executive positions today at Tesla, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, the most celebrated companies and startups on the planet. And they have been given this mission of building the MBA of the future. And we said to them, we want to have a program that is so current, you would want to hire its graduates. We want a program so good that you would have wanted to do it yourself. And the result of their work is so remarkably different than an MBA that anyone who looks at it says, this is definitely not an MBA. In fact, it's so different than what an MBA looks like today in regular institutions that we've decided to call it just that. You may have met, we decided to call it not an MBA. And not an MBA is a business program built for the self-made that is completely designed from scratch to give that growth mindset, that startup mindset that allows to do great things with very few resources and investment. The good news today, for tonight, is that starting tonight, this is also available here in Soho in London. I think we're like 25 meters away from our new campus in Soho.
125.
125. You check Google Maps. I assume. Yeah, beautiful. So first of all, this is available today, not only in our Soho campus just opening today, but also in the Liverpool Street campus that has been open for a few months. So Londoners are welcome now to now use this to take part in this program. Now, what I wanted to do now is I thought of showing you how the product actually looks like. You want to see it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Not enough nods, so I don't know. So the way this works, if you want to build an MBA for the self-made, you want to be giving them complete flexibility, right? So the first thing that works in this program is that every member of the program gets this app that understands what they want to learn and recommends the next class that they can take. And you choose every class. You don't only choose the class you take and understand exactly what you're going to get from the class and how you're going to use it tomorrow morning, but you also see who already signed up for it and choose your place around the table. Have you guys ever been to Soul Cycle or various boot camp? You know how you choose your bike? So it's kind of like that, only in the classroom. And Jolts happen in small groups, only in our campuses, and always around a conversational table, right? So the learning the business skills of today, learning the startup mindset, is not only getting the knowledge from the source of truth and knowledge that's on screen, but also in a conversational manner, learning it from other people sitting together. So that's the first part. You sign up to a class, you choose the class you want, and you have to collect credits that you know, quite regular. Then you get to the actual campus, and it's built nothing like a classroom of a regular business school. Our micro campuses are in spaces that look kind of like this one. And they're these small, intimate, beautiful looking rooms where you sit around a conversation table with up to 14 other people that you know who they are before you come to class. And a world-class instructor joins live on screen. So you can sit in Liverpool Street and learn from someone in Silicon Valley, in New York, in Tel Aviv, or in London, which also allows us to offer the very affordable price that we offer for this program. And then finally, and this is my favorite part, every single class at Jolt opens with presenting every single student in the class and the instructor themselves. Now, the reason we do it, and we'll see it in a second, is that we think the students participating in the session are not less important than the instructor presenting or the material being given. So that's a shift from the ancient Greek system of learning that's still present in today's business schools, and that is an auditorium, right? We have one source of truth and knowledge teaching everyone. Instead of that, we think that the students are the main part of the class. That is why the students are the host of the session. And that is what's expected if you want to be learning business skills with other business professionals like yourself. You would want to be in an environment that allows everyone to participate at the same level. So we'll finish with seeing the opening sequence of every single Jolt. It's kind of disco. I hope you like it. But it's supposed to show you the vibe of what Jolt is like, assuming that this is a business program that you actually take on your evenings. And we wanted to make it fun enough that you'd be able to do it over time, right? I have my workout trainer says that the best workout is the one you actually do, right? So it's kind of like that with school. We know we want to learn things, but if it's not fun and engaging and welcoming, we wouldn't be able to do it over time. Every instructor is presented, we call it Hollywood presentation, because our instructors are instructed to be delivering the classes as if it's a show, right? It has to be engaging, interactive. We're measured upon every single class, unlike any other school. Every single class has to be effective. It has to be engaging. But you can also see every instructor is presented with their location and weather, because a conversation starts. And about 50% of our class, there are interactive conversational sessions. We have a few Jolters in the audience, right? Jolters, raise your hands. Oh, we have quite a few Jolters in the audience, actually. Nice. So you guys can later tell your stories. Beautiful. And then finally, to close up tonight, we wanted to invite you guys, the special people who actually are pursuing the admirable goal of becoming the 1% of your industry, to sign up for Jolt. with a special discount for the opening of our new Soho location. We have limited number of this special scholarship. I think it's 30% off for the first 3 months. Yeah, that's very impressive. So 30% off for your first 3 months. We have a limited capacity for that. If you guys sign up tonight, in the next 24 hours, with this link, you get the discount and you mostly invited to use any of our locations in London and Tel Aviv and soon enough in additional locations on the planet, which will hopefully help you become the top 1% of your industry. Thank you, guys.